Hello everyone and welcome to yet another recreational programming session with Mr. Azozin. So, I've been asked to look at this language for quite some time already, but unfortunately I couldn't do that because it didn't freaking work on my laptop. Because I had a very old Debian, and the only way for me to use this language was to use a Docker container. And I'm not fucking using a Docker container for a freaking language. You guys know what is a freaking language? A compiler for a language. Compiler is a program that takes a sequence of bytes, aka source code, and translates it to another sequence of bytes, aka binary. That's what compiler is. It's a translator of one sequence of bytes to another sequence of bytes. I ain't using a freaking Docker container for a byte translator. Like, seriously, come on. So yeah, recently I updated my Debian distribution, and apparently this language now works. I don't know how, but it works, right? So the only thing I did before the stream, I downloaded their Debian compiler, right, for Debian, and I tried to compile Hello World, and it worked. So, and that actually prompted me to do this stream, right? So I didn't do anything off screen except compiling Hello World. So I do not know really what to expect from this language, except that it uses let keyword to define variables, because that's instantly what I see in here. So I'm going into this language basically blindly. So it's basically going to be unboxing, yet another unboxing of the language, right? So let's go. Let's jump into this language and let's take a look at it. So there's a button install. So let's actually click on it. So we're on Linux. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And we are on Debian. Yeah, exactly. Docker. What? Wow! What the fuck is going on? Sorry, my mouse is going crazy sometimes. So exactly, like, why do I have to run? Like, what the fuck is wrong with the modern software these days? Can anybody explain me? Like, how did we end up putting compilers into Docker containers? Like, and everyone is okay with that. Nobody sees any problems with that, right? So, I don't know, right? It's kind of weird for me. So maybe I'm weird, but anyway, so let's actually download this entire thing. So it's just a link to the Debian. Okay, so I'm gonna create a folder, maybe Swift prob. So this is where we're gonna be experimenting with Swift wget, and boom, let's go, my friend, let's go. So it is downloading. So I wonder for it's going to download for 2 minutes. That's actually, I don't know what's up with that. Why is it going to be downloaded for 2 minutes? Maybe I should have actually done that off screen. Well, but maybe not. So So somehow, okay. So we're back, if I understand correctly. We're back. Somehow I just can't download Swift. Somehow, when I'm trying to download it, it just brings down the entire stream. I have no idea why. It never happened to me, ever. I've been downloading different things on the stream just fine, but specifically that, I can't do that. I can't freaking do. Maybe this is because of the Swift or like, I don't understand what's up with that. So can I just download it from GitHub maybe? So GitHub, so something like Swift. Man, I didn't expect to have such problem, right? So, okay, so here's the source code of Swift. So there's some releases in here. I hope there's some binaries in there, because I remember that there's no binaries in there. There's literally no binaries. Like, how am I supposed to use this shit if I can't freaking download that? All right, so let me actually maybe go offline, download it first and go online again, because there's something with the server of Swift where I just can't download it properly. I never experienced that before. All right. So let's go ahead. Like I see you in 5 minutes, I suppose. All right. So finally, I managed to download that. So let's take a look. So I have 2 copies of Swift for whatever reason. So let me actually remove one of them. I never had shit like that with C3, by the way. Just saying. Never had shit like that with C3. So anyways, right, so I'm gonna unpack this entire thing. Hopefully it's not gonna... Clang! This motherflippers ship an entire Clang, I didn't notice that. Holy fuck. Wait, the original size of this thing is compressed 600 meg... Oh my god. Oh my god, holy shit. I can already sense a lot of fun with this thing. Oh boy. So yeah, we're unpacking like huge files and stuff. So you don't understand, it's a necessary complexity. It's a necessary complexity. All of that is actually needed, Zozin. You don't understand the point of Swift. I can already hear those voices. I can already fucking hear them. Every single fucking time, bruv. Every single fucking time. Okay, so how do you write a hello freaking world in this thing? I already forgot. I already did that once, but I don't remember how to do that. Yeah, installing. Okay, so what if we already installed it? Write a Swift tour. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this. Why did you switch off my dark mode? Where is my dark mode? Okay, so here is it. Can I click on it? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Show me the... Finally. So here is the hello world. Right, so it's going to be main. I suppose the extension is Swift. Right. So apparently I don't have an extension for Emacs. So yeah, so let's do Swift user bin. And I suppose we have a Swift compiler. Right, so if I try to do something like this, it just said hello world. So it basically executed, it just interpreted it. It's an interpreted language, guys. It's an interpreted language. Okay. So maybe you can compile. Is there like subcommands? Yeah, so maybe there's some sub. Yeah, okay, so there is a build. All right, so and I can do something like this. Build, okay, unexpected arguments. Seriously? Just providing a file name after a build subcommand is an unexpected argument in the Apple world, apparently. Okay, I don't know what to say. So there was another, I saw a Swift C. Okay, so there is a thing called Swift C. Maybe that's what we need in here, right? Maybe that's what we need. So let's actually give it a try. Okay, so it did a thing, and it created an executable, which is rather small, 16. Okay. I suppose it's a native executable. It is in fact a native executable. Look at that. So it's an LF64 LSB Pi executable, blah blah blah, dynamically linked though, right? So not stripped without any debug information, but I mean I'm pretty sure you can provide some debug information. So let's take a look at the dependencies of that executable. Oof, 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 oof. So that executable depends not only like on standard like C shit, but also on C++, by the way, and custom Swift runtime, string processing, regex parsing, and I don't even do any of this shit. All I do is just print hello world, and I already need a regular expression support in an executable. So so yeah. Zozin, you don't understand. It's a necessary complexity. It's a necessary complexity, Zozin, you do not understand. Alright, so, but can I like compile it fucking statically? Because this is nasty, bro. This is fucking nasty. So that means I can't really like pass that executable to somebody who doesn't have any of that. runtime, and it's specifically like hard codes it like to the play. So okay, so that means if I run main, it works. But if I move it to a different place, right? I literally just you know, copy this thing, you know, copy it here. So is it going to find? Okay, so it uses absolute path, right? So it uses absolute path, so it will still find all of this stuff. Okay, cool. But what if I rename this entire thing, right? So I just rename the this stuff and I just do LDD. It cannot find any of the shit, and if I try to run the main, it's not going to even fucking run. This is the price of third-party dependencies. So, like, this is the danger of third-party dependencies that people just don't realize. It's a price that you don't know when you're gonna pay, right? Because you just compile, oh, everything works, everything is up. You just check something and it just falls apart. It just fucking falls apart. It's like... That's why I'm always advocating for reduced complexity, reduce the amount of moving parts. Do not use things that you don't fucking need. Right, the hello world obviously has no business to, like, you know, depend on all of this shit, right? So just strip it off during optimization or something like that. Right, so... Maybe there is a flag to do that, though. Maybe there is some sort of a flag to do that. I don't freaking know. So let's actually try to see if there is anything. So maybe something like hello. Do you have like a static? Okay, so there's a static executable. Right. So static executable. Let's do that, my friend. So main Swift static executable. All right. Wait, it didn't work? What? Am I going crazy? So, I think I'm going crazy. Static. It's a single freaking dash. Bro, just support double dashes like a normal freaking thing. Argument unused during compilation pi, but I never even provided it. And it actually was printed by Clank15. So this is how abstractions leak, by the way. This is how abstractions leak. People prize abstractions for simplifying things, but those motherfuckers leak all the time. So, like, I never fucking provided any of the pi flags, and this thing talking about pi flags because this is what it passed to underline Clank probably somewhere. Right, literally LLVM wrapper. Literally LLVM wrapper. Right, so this is like all of these things are results of like a lot of moving part and a lot of complexity. Right, so people either just don't notice this kind of thing or they just choose to ignore it. Right. So anyway, so did it create an actual executable? Okay. So that explains why the original executable was so small. Because I suppose it basically linked everything. Well, I mean, it's basically on par with Rust executables, I suppose, right? So it's basically on par with the Rust executables. So let's take a look at the file. So yeah, it's statically linked. Look at that. So it's statically linked, not stripped and stuff like that. Okay. So, and if I do all the D, yeah, it's not a dynamic executable, and then I can... I'm not even trying. Bro, I'm not even fucking trying. This entire thing just falls apart on touching different things. Okay, so some people say just do static. I want to take a look at what other static flags we have in here. So this makes a statically linkable and make emit a library static library. So I don't understand, why do we have static executable and just static? Right, so do I have to use them both simultaneously, or do I have to use only just static? All right, so this is LDD. It didn't create a static, so now static executable. And then if I try to run this entire thing, unable to obtain Swift runtime. I think I'm just gonna give up on making static executable. I think I'm gonna simply give up on that. I don't think it is a solved computer science problem in Apple department, honestly. I don't think they have figured that out yet. So I think we're gonna be only using the dynamically linked things. Right. Okay, so I'm done with analyzing the actual output of Swift compiler. Static, well, I mean, okay, so let's give it another try. I'm gonna give it the last try, so I have to use both static executable, and static stdlib. Right, so I have to use 3 flags to achieve the epic victory royale. Okay, I'm using all of the 3 flags, and it still doesn't work. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna give up on that, all right? So I'm gonna give up on that part of the language, rather compiler, right? So obviously we can't produce statically linked executable with this language, which is fine, right? So you can't really easily do that with dynamic languages, scripting languages either, right? So we're downgrading this language from, you know, a proper native system language to one of those languages, apparently. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like it is possible. It's just like not obvious. But I mean, it's kind of bad that it's not obvious, right? So it's just like kind of freaking no. But anyway, so let's take a look at what the language itself has to offer. Right, let's take a look at what language itself has to offer. So we have some simple values. Well, what's interesting is that you don't even have to provide, you know, the main, right? So you don't even have to provide the main. By the way, let's actually try to install an extension for Swift, because I want to have a little bit of a syntax highlighting. So do you have Swift? Okay, so let's install Swift. Let's go. So installing Swift. Okay, looks like we're done. Are we done? I think we're in fact done. So if I do Swift mode, look at that! Look at that beautiful, beautiful highlighting. Isn't that poggers? I think it's pretty freaking poggers. So use let to make a constant and var to make a variable. What the freaking, what kind of JavaScript is that? Excuse me. All right, so let's actually have let x69, and can I just simply print 69 like so? So what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna be just like running it without compilation or anything, right? So yeah, it just printed 69. I wonder if I can print several things, hello world, right? So something like this. Is it going to, I can do that. So it automatically puts a little bit of a space in here. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. So does it also put, yeah, so print also puts new line automatically. It also implicitly adds the space between the arguments, right? So this is something to keep in mind. So when I suppose let just means that I can't modify it. So if I try to do something like this, it will tell me, yeah. So cannot assign to x is let constant, change let to var to make it mutable. Okay, so we're changing it to var, and now it in fact works. Okay, that's pretty cool. Semicolons are not required. Oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool. So, but can I put like several of them in here? Man, like, but I can't. So you can't have empty statements. This is an instant minus. Like -1. Like I want to have empty statements. Like literal and usable. Like what the fuck? Just let people have empty statements. If they want to have empty statements, just let them have empty statements. Disgusting. Okay, anyway. So what else do we have? So we have double. Ooh. So you can actually specify different types. Like I wonder, so, okay, so it actually highlights different types, right? So I can have double. Can I have integer? Wait. So type is int. but this one is double. Why not integer? Like in that case, it would feel like Pascal. That would be actually kind of cool, right? So, you know, in Pascal, you have integers. Do you have floats in here? You have floats, double. All right, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay. So you can have like, I almost choked. So you can have string interpolation. Excuse me, what the fuck? So this is an Insta Plus, honestly. This is an Insta Plus. So let's actually have something like, you know, Y35, and let's give it a try. So it doesn't, Emacs unfortunately doesn't highlight. Oh, no, it does highlight. Look at that, look at that. Damn, okay. So let's actually give it a try. So if I try to run it. Yo, you don't need printfs or anything like that, so it's just like a string interpolation. So honestly, I think we recently had like a discussion with Lerner about like printfs and stuff like that, because like in C3 I discovered that printf doesn't really check at compile time things. And here's my take on printfs in general. I am honestly not a huge fan of cprintf. Right. So for those who doesn't know, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, cprintf basically looks like this, right? So if you have several things in here, for example, you have integer x, right? So 69, or float y, which is 420, right? So, and if you want to print those things, you have to specify d, f, x, y, and so on and so forth, right? So this is kind of like a, you know, the worst way to do formatted output, honestly. And the only reason why we do that in C is because C is an old stinky language, right? And it's just like it cannot do anything better than that. It literally cannot do anything better than that. So the problem with this kind of way of outputting is that you have to actually match not only the order of arguments, but also their type. The compiler knows the types of all these variables, but you have to tell the compiler the second time the type of these variables just to print it out, because C is a stinky old language. It's just like it's really fucking bad. And it's so bad that you can't improve UX of this way of outputting on the level of a C language. The only way you can improve this kind of stuff is on the level of a compiler. A lot of C compilers, they analyze this string at compile time, despite the C standard saying that you don't have to do that. They still fucking do that. It's hard-coded in C compilers to statically analyze the strings and check if you matched all of these things in here. Like, you literally can't solve this thing on a level of a language. You have to solve it. You have to hack it on a level of specific compilers. Right. That's how fucking dumb it is. So, and honestly, the reason why it is done like that is because like half of a century ago, we also didn't know how to make ergonomic languages. Like, we didn't know that, right? So it's just like we implemented whatever and it kind of worked. A better solution would be something slightly better, sort of like a next step after that. Next step after that would be to have a language that analyzes the string at compile time, so you don't have to do these kind of things. Right, you don't have to do these kind of things. And something like that is already implemented in Jai. In Jai, there is a function print, which doesn't require you to specify these characters and stuff like that, because it knows the string at compile time. It knows the types of these things at compile time. It can actually match them and do the appropriate printers and stuff like that. But honestly, around the same time as C existed, a much better solution to formatted printing was invented not by Americans, but by Europeans. In a Pascal language, there was a write-ln. And in write-ln, you would just list the arguments like this. And it would just analyze their types and dispatch them to appropriate printers like so. Right. So and in here you can say, okay, so this is the integer, right? This is my integer. Right, and this is my float, something like that. And this is a very easy solution that doesn't require anything special. But honestly, it is very syntactically noisy. It is very syntactically noisy. Right, as you can see, there is like a lot of noise just to inject a single expression in here. There is like a shit ton of noise. The next proper solution, the end goal, would be to simplify that noisy syntax down to something like this, which is what we call string interpolation. And I think string interpolation is the ultimate way of doing formatting printing. And I think all the modern languages should strive to implement that, because that's the most ergonomic, the most readable solution. I think that's my personal opinion. Right, and Swift did that, right? Swift did that. So it hides allocation though. Not necessarily, honestly. Not necessarily. You may have, okay, you can imagine, a proper system statically typed language, right? You can imagine something like that. For instance, like it works fine in Rust, right? So, but anyway, you can imagine where you have the Pascal solution, right? You have a Pascal solution like this. Something like this. Let's actually put it like that. Right. And there is some sort of a special right which acts like a macro, maybe, but maybe not, which parses the string at compile time and simply translates it into this call like this. Because honestly, string interpolation is kind of syntactically similar to just this. It is syntactically similar to this. It's just this is more syntactically noisy, right? Because instead of like one character to denote the beginning of the interpolated expression, you need to have two characters in here. And sometimes we will put spaces in here, so it's even more noisy. So it's just like basically translating one syntax to another syntax, right? And Rust, for instance, already does that. Rust already does that. So I don't think it's just like hides anything, or there's nothing special in here, honestly. So yeah. But anyway, so I just wanted to put it out there. Right, so we can even take a look at Rust, right? So main rs. Right, so and in here fn main. Right, so you can have something like x 34, y 35, println. There you go, x plus y. So and then you just do rust c main rs. I don't have rust c. Fuck, did I remove it? So I think I. So it's rust up. Rust up. Do I have tool chains? Man, I think there's something with my paths. So I probably have to do something like this. Do I have rust c in here? Yeah, I do. Right. So something with my path, Emacs didn't pick it up for whatever reason. Apologize for that. So in format string, really? So why I didn't like that? Expected. Oh, you can't have expressions. Yeah, I forgot about that. Right. So yeah, Rust solution is not even that good. Right. So I think. A proper like string interpolation should allow you to have expressions in here. Yeah, so in Rust you can only have these kind of things, right? So it's kind of limited. It's kind of limited. But anyway, Swift. We're talking about Swift. All right. So you can have multi-line strings and stuff like that. Not particularly interesting, though. This is kind of useful if you like really have like templates, right? So you can do a little bit of a templating in here. So which is kind of cool. So you have fruits and so you can have arrays in here, right? And we don't even specify the type, so it kind of infers the type for us, right? So this entire thing is very heavy on inferring the type. But what if I want to specify this type somehow explicitly? That's an interesting question. What is it going to be? What is it going to be? Yeah, so it also renders it automatically. So is it going to be array? Okay, array of strings. Huh. And I'm just basically guessing that this is how you do generics and stuff like that. So I'm really curious. Let's actually give it a try, right? So, and see what kind of compilation error it will say. Okay, but if I say it's an array of int, it complains about that. Okay, so this is a plus to Swift. In that part, it is a rather intuitive language. So the way it generates executables is trash. We'll already confirm that. But as a language, so far, I kind of enjoy language features. It is an intuitive language. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Right, so I literally guessed how this type is going to look like. So the language is cool. The tooling is trash, which is not very uncommon, right? So it's a very common situation, right? So which is fine. Oh, you can even specify the types like this, right? So you can specify basically say something like this. All right, okay. So there's two syntaxes for arrays. Okay, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And you also have maps, right? So they even specify that. So you can basically map, you know, a string to a float. Huh. That's very cool. Okay. So I want to give it a try. So fruits and maybe their weights, right? So can we do that? So let me try to compile this entire thing, and we'll say, okay, so there's a dictionary, right? So, and we're gonna have weights associated with them, right? So this is gonna be 69, this is gonna be 420, whatever the fuck it is, right? So I don't really know the units, but it is what it is. Okay, so and it automatically prints everything. Okay, so this is a very nice language. All the necessary data types are there. Control flows. You can iterate things, right? So with for each and stuff like that. So this is pretty cool. So if I want to iterate the fruits, like for fruits, so name in fruits, and can I just print the fruits? Okay, this is a very ergonomic language so far. Oof. It gives you the pair. Oof. And it's tuple. I swear to God. Are those named tuples? Wait a freaking second. Swift has named tuples and Rust doesn't? Oh. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. So can I actually access them via the dot? Holy shit, it's so intuitive. This is a cool language. Bravo. This is a very cool language. Why the compiler is such a trash? Bruh, this is a crime. Why did you create such a trashy compiler for such a cool language? I'm like... I don't know. I'm delighted and disappointed at the same time. Just like with Haskell, by the way. So... Alright, so can I just pattern match this shit? Can I have key value? Then key, so can I say key and then a value, value, right, so I'm gonna do something. So far, I didn't guess the syntax incorrectly. So, but can I have like a different names in here? So for example, A and B, or do they have to have the same name as the, no, they didn't have to. Right, so just like sequentially. But can I then say key value? Right, so because why am I guessing all of this? Okay. Okay, so, and that also makes sense. This is a huge props to the designers of the language, honestly, because like I'm just guessing things, right? So it's just like, yeah, but because things make sense so far. Things make sense. Okay, so this is a huge plus. I really like that. Okay, so control flow, so you can do for eaches. But here's an interesting thing. What if I want to have indices, right? So for instance, if we have fruits which don't have, you know, the weights associated with them or any shit like that, right? So they don't have any of that scheiße. And for example, here's the fruit, and I'm just printing the fruit, right? Simply printing the fruit. So how do I do index? Okay, so then I want to have an index. Is it like in any other language out there? Okay, so it's not really an index, but maybe I have to do something like this. Didn't work out. All right, so we found something not particularly intuitive, but maybe they're gonna explain that a little bit later. Right, so yeah, I don't see how to do that. So yeah, so we're gonna wait until the tutorial explains it to us. So I found something interesting, right? So there's optional strings, there's optional parameters, and aha. Ooh, this one is interesting. So when you have question mark, the value can be nillable, I suppose. It can be nillable. And then you can sort of like if-let this entire thing. All right. Huh. I like that, right? So you can if-let this entire stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Or you can, oh, okay, it after, okay, this is so fucking cool. Just a second. Can I, yeah, so I'm gonna keep the fruits, and I'm going to have a nickname, right? So this is a nickname string, and it's a question mark, and let's put Sodin in here, right? So if I try to print Sodin and nickname, right? So what is it going, nickname? Okay. All right. So, oh yeah. Let's make it compilable again. Aha. Why is there so much? Cannot find. It's still uncompilable in a place where I don't really care. I want to keep the fruits example because it might become relevant soon. Expression placing occurs to string. Aha. All right. So if it's optional, right, it is treated as any. Provided to avoid this warning. So, but then you can very easily just sort of unwrap it like so. This is so ergonomic. Right. Oh my god, I like the syntax. I like how minimalistic it is in that regard. Right. So this is rather cool. This is rather cool. I really like that. So there's switch cases, right? So they don't have any breaks and stuff like that, and they probably also have their own separate scopes. Also, there is let x. So you can have conditions in here. So cases not only check certain cases, but they also have conditions. So you do switch, then you match it against x. And then you can check whether it has a certain suffix or something like that. Okay, so that's reasonable. That's pretty cool. So here is the mapping from string to that. You iterate pairs. We already figured out how to iterate the hashes. Right, so how to iterate the hashes. Okay, so, oh my god. A modern language with loops with post-condition? I thought Python ideologically murdered post-condition loops long time ago. It's just like destroyed them. Right, because Ridvan Rossum once said, you don't fucking need them. And everyone was like, holy shit, indeed, we don't fucking need them. And nobody added them. But those motherfuckers, oh, that is a very bold move. That is a bold language. I like that. It got some character. Imagine a language going against Guido von Rossum. I wouldn't dare to do that. That is freaking awesome. This is a Chad language. It just said, fuck you, you need them. And they just ended it. They just fucking ended it. So just, yeah. Okay. So, that's pretty cool. So not saying that they're useful, but I mean, it's actually kind of cool that they added it anyway. All right. Oh, we're getting into pretty cool territory. Okay, so this is probably how you obtain the indices, right, when you iterate in arrays. That's probably how you do that. So let's give it a try. Right, so I'm gonna go and just say, all right, so here is the index in 0, len fruits. Surprisingly, it accepted len. Okay, so what if I try to do len? Len is not in the scope. Maybe it's len? A value of string has no member length. What if it's a function length? What if it's a count? We brute forced it. Fucking brute forced it. Isn't it kind of funny how these different languages like do different combinations of different shit? Some of them call it count, some of them call it length, some of them call it len. Sometimes they make them a function, right? Sometimes it's a parameter, sometimes it's just something else. And every fucking language you have to guess it, but it's the same shit ultimately anyway. It's the same shit ultimately. So oh yeah, I already forgot what was it a function or oh it was a count. That's how quickly I forgot. Seriously, that's how quickly I fucking forgot about it. So then you can do something like this, right? So yeah, there we go. So probably want to actually put some sort of like a separation in here. Yeah, so we can separate. Yeah, so if you need an index, I suppose you just do that probably. I don't know. Okay, closures. Oh my god. Oh, this is advanced language, like functions as values. That's pretty cool. So functions and clause. And look at that! Look at that! Look at that fancy trendy arrow! Oh my god! Ooh, 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 that is freaking fancy. That is freaking fancy. Right? It's just like you can feel how the language says how do you do, fellow kids, when it uses arrow to denote the return types instead of the column. Column is used for boomers, right? Pascal did that. Freaking Pascal. Column is for freaking boomers. Real modern software developers, they use arrows. So yeah. So, all right. So this is how you know functions. This is interesting. What the fuck is this underscore? Oh. Okay, so they said, but default functions use their parameters names as labels for their arguments. Write a custom argument label before the parameter name, or write to use no argument. What the fuck? No argument label. So, wait, what? So you must label, you must explicitly say the names of the arguments, and if you don't do that, you have to put underscore? What the fuck am I looking? Wait a freaking second. What the fuck am I looking at? So, you're telling me that if I do some shit like this, if I do some shit like this, it is not going to compile? No fucking way! What the fuck is this shit? Like, what? What the fuck is this shit, bruv? Oh my god, this is lame! This is the lamest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, the result is okay, so it also complains about unreduced result. I suppose I can do, yeah, so I have to print. So I literally have to say, yeah, ignore this. Oh, and now it complains that I'm using it. Okay, maybe I just don't understand it yet. Maybe I just like, I have a small brain to comprehend the genius of Swift developers. But that is Yikes. But maybe you can get used to that. Maybe you can get used to that. Anyways. Right, so you provide the scores. Yeah, so calculate statistics. Ooh, you can have named return. Ah, it's like in Go. Bruv. So you can have several return parameters. They can have names, by the way. It's not really several, it's a named tuple. Wait, you return a named tuple. But then that named tuple is destructurized inside of the function, so you... Oh, no, it's not really destructurized inside of the function. Or is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so we define those functions and then we just passing them in there. All right. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's convenient. That is very, very convenient. So for how far we are, we're not even halfway through the tour. Oh, so it's a function returning another function. Currying. Have you guys heard about currying? This is currying, right? It's when function returns another function, basically. So that's what it is. So closures work as expected. Closures work as expected. So you can map things and stuff like that. So object, oh my god. Okay. Ruined. The whole fucking language ruined. Like literally ruined. What the fuck is this shit? Curry mentioned. Yeah. Classes. Fucking classes. So use class follow by the class name to create class. A property declaration in a class is written the same way as a constant or variable declaration, except that it's in the context of a class. Otherwise, method and function declaration are written in the same way. Okay, so that makes sense. So, and when you creating things, you just create a class like this. So, and a constructor is just a init, which I can appreciate. Honestly, like the fact that C++ uses the same name for constructor is the lamest shit I've seen in any programming language. Right. So imagine something like this. And also destructor, right? So destructor also uses like that. Right? If you need to change the name of a class, you have to do that in so many freaking places. Like, why? What? Like, who came up with this idea? Like, it's just like, what the fuck? Right. So, like, I don't freaking understand. Like, you need to do init. But I wonder, does it do any array AI, like C++ style array AI? So maybe it does. Maybe that's kind of the point of this initialization. Notice how self is used to distinguish the name property from the name argument to the initializer. Ah, okay. So this is like a JavaScript. All right, understandable. So you can do inheritance. There we go. Inheritance, freaking inheritance. So shapes, equilateral triangles, like here we go, we have examples that have nothing to do with the real software development, freaking shapes and shit. So I'm also, like, I'm more... Oh, we're in that kind of language. So with the, okay. Properties with getters and setters. I mean, I guess it's fine, right? So it's just like, at least you don't do get perimeter and set perimeter and shit like that, right? So at least we have that. Okay. Wheel set, deed set. Like, why OP people need all of this shit? It's just like, can you just write software normally? So if you don't need to compute the property but still need to provide the code that runs before and after setting new value, you don't need to compute the property but will... Okay. I see. So it's just like a callbacks that get triggered after you set it. Oh, like before. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe it has use cases, sure. It's just like I don't understand OP people. Ooh, this one. Okay. So we passed all of that OP bullshit, like okay, so which was making me depressing. So something interesting. Enumeration and structure. Thank you. I suppose they're just trying to, like give support for different kind of paradigms for different folks, right? So, right. I'm not into OP. I suppose you don't have to use that if you're not into that. Right, so you don't have to use that. So yeah, we're probably not going to use that because they support structures, right? So which is fine. Okay, so enumeration to create enumeration like classes and all other name types. Enumeration can have methods as well, maybe it's fine, right? So I'm not really against that. So you have case. So I don't really understand what the fuck is like. Why is it the case? But yeah, can have a method associated with them. So you have rank. Okay. So it's kind of weird way. So why there's only 3 cases? So it's basically each of them is a separate case, but you can split them like that. I don't fucking know. So then you can convert all these things. Yeah, so this is all of that feels like a C++ style enumerations, right? Not just like a simple enumerations like in C or in Go, but like sort of like rich enumerations that are sort of like a no Rust style. Yeah, though this one is interesting. Look at that. This feels a little bit like a Rust style. And then you can okay. So it's more like a Rust style enumerations. I see. So it's a more like Rust style. They can have associated values with them, and you can pattern match them. So it's actually kind of interesting. It's a little bit more ergonomic than Rust. So because you can actually match them without providing the name of the... well, yeah, you don't have to provide the name of enumeration. Excuse me. All right, so here is the structures, but structures are basically classes. So concurrency is interesting. Okay, so you can have asynchronous stuff. Honestly, tasks. This kind of gives me like a Ada vibes. Yeah, it feels like Ada, which is rather interesting. It feels like Ada. So there's 2 different protocols and stuff like that. Error handling. Okay, so we're not gonna go into concurrency. I'm not really super interested in concurrency, but errors is very interesting. So errors are enumerations, right? And I suppose you can also use optionals, but optionals probably are used for denoting the lack of a value. Oh my god, they have throws. Okay. Ooh. So returning a value, right? Okay, so throwing is something like that, and oh, it's literally exceptions. Okay, so you present errors using any type that adapts error protocol. Okay, so I should have probably read about their protocol or something like that. Use throw to throw an error and throws to mark a function that can throw an error. If you throw an error in a function, the function returns immediately, and the code that called the function handles the error. Right, so where do I... Yeah, you try send. So you try it, print response, do catch. All right. Generics. Okay, generics seems to be the usual thing, right? So they're just oh my god, and it says Rust style. Oh my god. Okay. I see. And that's about it. So this is basically the, high level view of Swift. Okay. Kind of like doesn't feel very much as a system language, honestly. Right. I wouldn't even try to compare it maybe with C or anything. It's just like, it's basically C++ and Rust, and slightly higher than C++ and Rust. Not really super high like managed languages and shit like that, but slightly higher than C++ and Rust. So this is how I would characterize this language, given how it generates the executables, right, how it treats the dependencies of the language, how it doesn't really give you that much control over all of that, and all of these features and stuff like that is just like basically very close to C++ and Rust, but slightly higher than them. And no mentioning of the memory management yet. Yeah, by the way. So, which also gives off these high level vibes, right? So they're trying to kind of avoid memory management questions like at all. Like, what kind of like memory management does it use? Is it like garbage collected or something? Like maybe we can take a look at Wikipedia. Swift, because from the tour, like we didn't hear anything about that, right? Oh my god, I'm sorry for. Right, so memory management, automatic reference counting. Huh. Okay, it uses reference counting apparently. So interesting, very interesting. So does it do any FFI with C? Does it interface with real programming languages? The languages in which all of the useful code is written in. So, you know what I'm talking about? Chat, you know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. How can we... Okay, so FFI. So CFFI? I didn't see anything. So how does it interface with the real programming languages then? I don't fucking understand. Okay, Swift FFI. Let's go. Okay, so it's not even in documentation. It's somewhere else. So it's forums. It's not even documentation. Any documentation about that? Using imported C functions in Swift. Hidden features. Bro. Alright, so you know what I want to do? I want to make a small break. And I want to refill my cup of tea. Alright, so once I have my cup of tea, we're going to try to explore how the fuck can I interface with the real libraries in here. Search for interops. Okay, so let me see. Interop. No, nothing. So maybe I'm looking at wrong documentation, right? So maybe it's just like documentation for Nubi. Language reference, maybe that's what I need in here. Right, so read the Swift programming language. Okay. So this is a Swift book. Yeah, so it's the same thing in here. Anyway, so let's make a small break. And after the small break, we're going to continue exploring, right? So what you can do with this language. So cinterrupt is fully direct. You can call back and forth. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Documentation, right? Official documentation. Anything about that, right? So we need to find that. So anyway, let's make some break and all right, so let's continue. So on the break, people actually sent me a bunch of links, which are kind of worrisome, to be fair. So they're talking about creating a Clang module and shit like that. And it's about C++ interoperability, and I don't freaking know. So wrapping C/C++ libraries in Swift. There are many great libraries out there that are written in C and C++, a majority of them, thank you very much. It is possible to make use of these libraries in your Swift code without having to write any of them in Swift. Thank you for being so generous, for not forcing us to rewrite everything in Swift, unlike some of the other communities. This article will explain a couple of ways to achieve this and best practices when working with C/C++ in Swift. Package. If needed, create a new Swift package with package Swift source directory, etc. Create a new module directory under sources for C/C++ library. Let's suppose it's named my... I don't freaking understand. Add C and C++ library git sources in my C and set up git module, like... okay. Modify package Swift to add C. I don't have a package Swift, that's the problem. So far, I was just compiling Swift files into executables using Swift C, or just running them. What the fuck is package Swift? Are you implying that I need to use some sort of like a cancer package manager build system cargo style shit? Are you just fucking implying that? Are you implying that I have to use this kind of cancer with this language? Swift build. Fuck, I don't want to do that. Fuck you. Why can't I just, you know, have a declaration? Okay, listen. Can I just have extern? It doesn't have extern. It doesn't have extern keywords. So look, you can define functions like this. Why is it not like extern? You know, stbi, like stb, you know, image. I don't know how to do that, like write PNG, right? And then I provide the arguments in here. Like, why is it not like this? So, excuse me, how am I supposed to use Raylib in Swift? Because fuck you. I hope this is an actual Apple employee, actually. Imagine this is an actual Apple employee popping in the chat and explaining the design decisions of the languages, because fuck you, that's why. I would actually respect that, honestly, if that was an honest answer from Apple, because fuck you, that's why. We're Apple. What you gonna do? You're gonna sue us? You can't do shit. Fuck you. So I would really fucking respect that. Just Apple popping in and a certain dominance. Alright. So, yeah, module map. A module map is generated automatically. I'm really curious, what the fuck is a package Swift? Right, maybe there is some sort of documentation on all of this package Swift stuff. So getting started guide. We never looked into the so Swift package manager. Oh my god, there's too much text for all of that stuff, bro. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I'm getting started. Like I lost. Where was the documentation we were reading? Where is the tour? I lost. Yeah. Okay. So here's a Swift tour. Okay. But that was Tor on the programming language. Right, so this is a Swift Tor. The basic operations. Yeah, and it's literally just a Tor on a programming language, but not on the tooling. Right, for the tooling, so yeah, command line tools. Maybe this is what we need in here. Swift package init. Okay, so and there you go. Here is this cancerous package Swift shit. Okay, so apparently we have to use this, right? So we must use that if we want to do. Okay. All right. So my CLI, it's one of those languages, right? It's one of those languages. Swift user bin Swift. So what do I have to do? Package init. Right. Name my CLI Type executable. Okay. Okay, so we got package Swift. Cool. We got package Swift. Does it have sources? Yeah, here is the main and stuff like that. Okay, so how do I build this piece of Shaisung? So I suppose I just do build. Oh, and this is why build, you know, didn't accept the input or anything like that because, oh, it's seriously? This is how much time you need to build a freaking hello world. Okay. So we got dot build and so what is that? This is a link, symbolic link to this thing. I don't even see an executable. Where is the executable? File F executable. Oh, okay, so it's deep down in there in the build. So here it is. Okay, so we have to go. What was there? So it's inside of debug, and here it is. Here is the executable, and of course it's it depends on all of that cancer. Okay. Understandable, understandable, understandable. And then I suppose I can run this entire thing. Okay. So they do actually expect you to use their system, their build system or something like that. Okay, fair. Adding dependencies, of course, of course. You can't do software development in a modern world without dependencies. Anyways, so, okay, package, if you need it, new Swift, blah, blah, blah. Modify package Swift. C settings, okay. To add sleep as a target. So we have targets, which is executable. And then so my sleep. So I suppose what I want to do, create new module there and the sources for. All right, so under sources we create my shit. Right, so here it is. Here is my shit. New module. Let's suppose it's named in the rest of the section. Okay, so in our case it is called my shit. Maybe I'm gonna actually capitalize it because apparently they like to capitalize the names, right? So because they're capitalists. All right, they're not using communistic case. One convention is to prefix the module name with C. Okay, okay, so see my shit. So that's the convention. I didn't come up with that. So right, you see my shit. Wait. I want to call it actually see these nuts. Right, so C. I'm sorry. So add the C source code directory as git submodules and said no, I don't want to fucking do that. Fuck you. Right, so it's needed for version control. Right, so see these nuts. Right, so see these nuts. C, and we want to have some sort of a function in here, right? So I suppose I want to do hello. Right, I don't know, maybe let's create these nuts, or maybe add, right? So it's going to be add. So this is a classical sort of function, right, which just like adds two integers together. Why do I use tabs in here? It's kind of weird. But anyway, so we've got the CD's nuts library, right? So, and here is the implementation of a single add function. Pretty cool. So now we have to sort of do this kind of thing. Modify to add C as a target and specify allocations for source and headers, right? It's kind of weird that it's all commented out. So we have executables, right? And I suppose I'm just like assuming that target has to be in this list, right? Because it's a list of targets. All right, so it's a list of targets. Right, so that's what it is. I should have actually added extra space in here, so I'm not really sure what the fuck am I doing. And name is CD's nuts, right? So CD's nuts, it doesn't have any dependencies. Is that it? Right, so do we have to do anything else? For C++ library, use CXX. Try compiling the Swift package Swift build, adjust as needed. Okay. So all of that commented out, so I suppose none of that is really needed. Relative path and the sleep of the, for example. So they expect you to use. So here is the sources, relative path, and yeah, well, let's give it a try. Right, so let's just try to build this entire thing and see what is going to happen. Sources for a target should be located for the properly path. Is that because of this thing? I don't understand. What? So it doesn't like this thing. So if I comment it out, sources contains mixed languages sources, features not supported. But isn't that what they told me to do anyway? Isn't that what they told me to do? So my C, this is bizarre. Like, what the fuck? You need to add the sources array in a C file. So I really don't fucking understand why. So it doesn't like that it's like this, but does it really have to be under the sources? All right, so if I now add this target thingy, all right, so if we add this target thingy, my source target should be located. I don't fucking understand. Like, okay, so it would be nice if there was just a complete fucking example with some. Oh my god. Oh, fucking slope garbage. Okay, so I feel like this is absolutely fucking insane. Like, what the fuck is this shit? And how do I do external? Like, how do I just call that function from there? So working with C++ managing wrapped C++ types left. Oh my god. All right, so fuck all of that. Right, so fuck all of these links. I'm gonna go into the Google Swift FFI C, and I'm just gonna search for Google FFI interrupt. So this is one of the things we found. How to call C from Swift. Right, this is like slope garbage that I don't want to deal with. Fuck all of that. And fuck all the people who push all of this stuff. All right, so like, fuck you. All right. All right, this is what I want. Like, this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. So here, import foundation. I don't fucking know what the fuck it is. So it's very interesting. So input. I built tiny example. Here's explained. Here's the original answer. How is that an answer? Basically the C types. Here's the original answer. That doesn't answer anything. Where is this simple example? None of that is helpful. Imported C objective mixing Swift and C++. No. No. Man, this is horrible. Man, this is garbage. This is the most garbage language I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Holy fuck. Okay, so people suggest this thing. Okay. Article with some explanations. It doesn't even exist. Swift build X linker. Okay. So does it use, so there's a test package and Swift C interop example. All right, so there's two packages in here, right? So this is a complete example that does the thing. So, and there's a test package. Why this is a test package? Okay, so here's the Swift. And this is, why there's some garbage in a root in here? When there is... Why there's so many things? Bro, has anybody managed to come up with a simple example that just has one single fucking function that you call from Swift? Or is that a fucking impossible problem in Swift? This is garbage, like straight up fucking garbage. Like, like I'm not using that. And people like keep posting different links, but all of them is just this slop. This corporate overcomplicated slop. That's like, look at the amount of, oh my god. This is like a straight up slop. Like, I'm not satisfied with this language whatsoever. This is fucking bad. The fact that it's not even like obvious, yeah, I really don't want to be dealing with that. A literal fucking slop. FFI, how Swift imports C API. Okay, so names in Unicode. Like, all right, so names that are keywords in Swift. Okay. I don't know, man. Let me see. So here's the Swift prop. So here's the just Swift. And so there's a Swift C. Let's take a look at what Swift C accepts. Does it accept, maybe it accepts C files. I don't fucking know. Just like Zig or something. Because for instance, what if I have add C? All right, I'm gonna just do experiments, like, because I really don't want to deal with this slop, right? That the people suggest me to read. Like, it's so horrible. Right. So there is XCC. Why this is not on the front pages of the documentation? Right? Why this is not the first thing that appears on Google when I Google shit like that? Like, why? Can anybody fucking explain me? Like, why are they pushing these, like, package managers, CMake things, just like all of this garbage? If you can just pass stuff to underline C compiler, suppose they just call in underline C compiler, why this is not just the first thing? Okay, this is what you want to do. I don't fucking understand. So there is an underlying sort of C compiler that they call. Do they translate Swift to C in C++? Right, or something like that. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so what if I just like try to do add C? Let's give it a try. Okay, so it doesn't like it. But what if I just do XCC? No input files. Okay, so this is interesting. So what if I just do main Swift? Okay, this is interesting. So we're to handle compilation exactly. Okay, so they're calling underlying clang, and this is the arguments that they use. Right. So this is the arguments that they use. So we don't unable to handle compilation. Expecting exactly one compiler job. Oh, okay. Expected one compiler job in this thing. Interesting. So, and there's probably like .c. Right, so here is that, but is there another, maybe there's main, the main file. All right, so goodbye bitrate. I really apologize for that. Okay. So XCC, though we can try to do the linker stuff. What if I just do something like clang C add C? Right, so we got some stuff like this, right? So now we have an O file. We can take a look at this thing. So it has add. All right, that's cool. All right, and then I suppose I can do main Swift. But then what was the linker shit? What was the linker shit? X linker. Right, so that means I should be able to do main Swift X linker add O. Right, so and it kind of managed to compile some stuff. All right, so and the add function is there. So we have an executable with the add function. The question is, how do we fucking call it now? Right. How do we fucking call it now? Create module for import it from Swift, then what the fuck are you guys talking about? I don't fucking understand. Like, nobody has provided like a complete example that just works. You're just pinging me for no reason. I'm not interested in that. All right. So Swift SDL. Okay, so some people just posting a link. Like, chat is just wasting my time trying to save this garbage language. No, fuck that. Like, can we do that without the package Swift garbage? Can we just like somehow do that in a simple way? Right, chat, stop posting slope. Can we just do that in a simple way? I said that one, your language is more obtuse and cumbersome than JavaScript. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure I'm just doing it wrong and I don't understand the actual point of Swift. I know that. I hear that every fucking time. So import Objective-C header. So is that like, did you just made it up or is that a real thing? So I don't fucking know. All right. So we managed to create, by the way, you know, an executable that does in fact have the add, you know, function, right? So it would be kind of nice if just like, you know, we were able to call it somehow, right? So something like, I don't know, func add, which is like, this is integer, right? So, and this is integer, and it just returns an integer, right? But I'm pretty sure we won't be able to do that, right? So, like, I just want to be able to do these kind of things, you know? Like in any normal programming language, without any of that corporate building, build system slop, right? Just without corporate build system slop. Can we have something like that? Yeah, it wants to have a file. Like, what? How do I fucking even do that? So, right. So I don't fucking know. Like, it's not obvious, and obviously Apple doesn't want you to know that. So I don't fucking know. There's packages. So this is a source. Let me see what we have in here. So import C. So we're like importing C library, right? And then we're calling this test function. Okay, this one is rather interesting. It's so fucking deep in all of this. Like I really have to clone it, right? I can't just explore that. I can smell this corporate stink. It fucking stinks with corporate. Hate it. Fucking hate it. I never program in these languages for fun. Like fucking never. Only for money. Only for money. All this corporate bullshit. Really fucking hate it. Okay, so let's actually clone it. So test. So this is a main Swift. Okay, so this is what we're calling in here. I don't know why corporate people just getting a kick out of all of that shit. Like, why? Is this some sort of like a weird fetish they have? It's just like this complexity fetish. Like, it's like, do they really like, you know, get a kick out of that? It's like, it's so bizarre. It doesn't serve any fucking purpose. It's just like they like it. So so fucking bizarre. All right, so this is the headers emoji. Okay. And then there's a library. Okay, so there's a pure C targets. Bro. Okay, like I'm really don't understand what the fuck is this stuff though. Like, why is it? It's just confusing that it's here. All right. So how do I build all that stuff? So we just do provide the path to the libraries via linker flag. And the example is just more confusing than it explains shit. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, man. So yeah. Like, we need to make it work somehow, right? So I just don't want to leave it as it is. So if I understand correctly, I can't just do Swift build, right? So because there is no package. Oh yeah, okay. So this, I'm just like using the wrong. Yeah, so there's no like a high level package thing in here. So the targets. Yeah, so it goes back in here. Okay. Okay, so I have to go a little bit more back in here. So it's taking some time to build some shit. Okay. Was identified as an executable. Okay, so and it's compiling it like that. So write Swift version. Alright, so let's just build the thing. So the source here is just, yeah, call some C functions. Test package, no executable product available. So you don't even create executable. So there is no executable target in here. So this so somebody people Swift C. Okay, here is another thing. Swift C, build a sage. Somebody made an example. Okay. One more time. Is this really how you do that? Why people even compare Swift to C++ and Rust? Can you just guys stop comparing Swift to C++ and Rust? It's nowhere on the level of those proper system languages. This is a joke. This is a joke. This language is a joke. I don't understand it. I'm sorry. What the fuck is that? Like, is this how you? This is not a system language. Like, okay, thank you whoever came up with this example. So let me actually find who created this example. So I can't find the original author, but yeah, thank you so much. All right, so let me start. So we're also gonna put it in the description. Please do not delete this example if it works. We don't really know if it works or not, right? So let's actually try to compile it and see how it goes. So this should be in the documentation, right? I really fucking hate when the documentation just needs to show a simple example, but they just show everything at you. They give you like a huge 1,000 lines of example. Yeah, this is how you do that. Like none of that, you need none of that, right? You just need a simple example, but they not gonna give you, right? So something like that should be in the documentation. I don't have no idea why it is not in the documentation. Excuse me. Right. Simple examples, like straight to the fucking point. This is how you interact with C. That's it. Right. It has to be like that. This is a huge minus to the language, honestly. Right. And like to the whole ecosystem and the documentation. It's just like it's really fucking bad that it doesn't do that. Right. So let me actually make sure that there's no weird garbage anywhere in here, and just that I fully understand which each individual thing is doing in here. Right, so, and in terms of bash, I'm gonna just do, let me just grab this thing in here. So this is a Swift C. All right, so it has to be shared. But can you just like statically compile that stuff? Let me also take a look at them. Main Swift. Yeah, that's really bizarre. But anyway, so is it executable? It's not executable. Let's do bash build sh. It's not directory. Am I doing something? Wait, what? Wait, what is excuse me, am I going crazy already? I think I'm going crazy already. Just a second. I think I'm already tired. That's how user bin Swift C. Yeah, so that's what I need. Right, so that's what I need. And then bash build sh. Okay, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know what the fuck was that. Okay, right, so, and now I'm gonna just run that, so 42. Is it possible, like, is it really has to be this freaking weird? What if I create, what if I just do C? Right. So also let me do xe, right? So and maybe bin sh, and also maybe executable. Right. So yeah, again, whoever made that, thank you so much. Did already start. I think I already started. Right? Yeah. So we already started. So this is a very good example. This is a very valuable information for humanity. Please do not remove it. Please let all of the search engines to index it. So every time somebody Googles Swift CFFI, this is the first thing that pops up in the Google. Please, this is very important for the survival of human civilization. I'm fucking telling you. And I'm not even fucking joking. I'm really not fucking joking. This is a very important information. And Apple is trying to actually hide this information. This has to be the first thing every time somebody Googles how to do this kind of shit. Thank you so much. You're doing the God's job. Pepple. Pepple. So yeah. I'm really curious, right? So I want to like double check that. So okay, so here's the SO, right? So, and let me try to build a Sage this entire thing. Okay, cool. So that probably created the O file. Okay, so it created this O file. Right, I don't expect it to work, but I'm low-key interested in like if you can do something like that, right? So there is an X linker. Can I just pass test O to the X linker? Just link it statically. Okay. Not bad. So you can link it statically, actually. You don't have to do it dynamically. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, test or anything. PR time, maybe, I don't know. So interesting. So okay, so that means you can use it as a proper system language if you can like link it statically. That is very interesting. Can I simplify it even further? Is module map really that much of an important thing? What if I just like remove it? Or maybe even better, just give it like a different extension. I want to see how this thing is going to react. Okay, no such module. All right, all right, all right. So, oh, okay, okay, I see. So it basically explains to Swift how to, yeah, so it's a forward declaration of those things to Swift compiler, right? And I suppose it probably parses the headers and stuff like that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That is a very reasonable thing to have. All right, all right, all right, all right. That is very cool. CRAB document, exactly, CRAB documentation. So the language is reasonable, compiler is reasonable, documentation is a huge crap, right? So this is like a minus for documentation, right? This kind of stuff, again, should be straight to the point. This should be part of the official documentation of Apple. But of course, it's Apple. They can't afford to have garbage documentation, of course. So what you're gonna do? Sue them? Fuck you, it's Apple. Right. Fuck you, it's Apple. I wonder if you can now do Raylib like that. Can you, like, for Raylib, just create this module map shit? Right, so can we just download, you know, this thing? It's kind of interesting. All right, so let's go to Raysan, Raylib. All right, so let's download this entire thing. Am I downloading the right thing? I hope it's not gonna bring my entire stream down. Ah, fuck. I did the wrong thing. wget. It's fine. Yeah. All right, so let's actually unpack this entire thing. All right, and then yeah, so in this specific case, all right, so we have these headers. We have these headers. So, and for these headers, we probably want to create the module map. That's what we want to put in here. And the module map, let's call it Raylib. So this is Raylib. Header. Okay, so module maps. So it's only a single header. Okay, so let's say that this is going to be just a raylib.h. So I don't remember the syntax for several of these things, but that's fine. Okay, I want to bring, yeah, so main Swift. Source main Swift. Let's import Raylib. And I suppose init window and it's 600 hello from Swift. That's what we're going to be doing. All right. And if I want to build this entire thing, so we don't really need to build that. What we need to do, we need to just compile this thing, include sources. Do we have to? We'll probably have to include this thing, right? Maybe not at all, right? So library is sources, but not really. Right, so this is a Raylib include. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So something like this, maybe. And linker. For the mother flipping linker, we're gonna be redirecting the linker to here. We're gonna be telling it link with this scheiße. And I wonder if it's going to work. No such thing. So there should be... Do we have to say... oh, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Undefined reference to really. Damn. Ah, because I did a oopsie doopsie. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Oh my fucking goodness. Holy fuck. Should window close. Begin drawing. And drawing. Close window. We don't even need any of this shit. Is it window should close? I don't remember. Window should close. I think that's what it is. Okay, Swift developers. You're doing a huge disservice to yourself for not making these kind of examples in a front fucking page right in your face. Because this is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. This is cool. Right, so the ability to just say, okay, so here, like, it's basically like in Zig, right? So this is one of the selling points of Zig. You basically take the C source code and you just can use it right away. Make it fucking simple. Simple examples in the front page of the documentation. See, look, you can use your favorite actually useful libraries right away. Don't fucking hide this information. You're doing a huge disservice to the language, seriously. Like, this is a huge disservice. Like, it has to be fucking obvious. It has to be fucking obvious. Like for real. Seriously. Because this is kind of cool. This is convenient, right? So, I don't know. Like, people... I suppose, like, people have this, like, complexity fetish that doesn't allow them to just, like, promote the simpler solutions. Like, I don't fucking know what to do with this, like, mind virus that make people masturbate to complexity so much. Like, what do we fucking do? It's ruining the industry. It's ruining the fucking industry, like, and it's ruining computing for everybody. Like, how do we get rid of that mind virus that makes people hide all of these beautiful gems? Because it's fucking cool. It's a beautiful gem. Like, promote it. Put it on a fucking front page. And I don't know, it's cool but disappointing at the same time. It is cool but disappointing at the same time. So yeah. Alright, so we're, I don't know, already streaming for almost like 2 hours. Like, do we want to do anything with this thing? Right, so yeah, you can use Raylib, you can use like useful libraries from that, so that's reasonable. So Yusu. So we can maybe do something like clear background. And I wonder, can I just say 255.0.0.255, right? So because it's a tuple, right? It's a structure. All right. So how does it interpret structures? Let's actually see. So build sh. So convert to caller. Man, I don't freaking know. Like, if I want to create a structure, all right, so let C caller, right? So let's actually get rid of that. All right, let's get, okay, so this is a C caller. But then can I just do something like 255, 00, 255? Is it going to work? No, you can't do that. So what does the compiler say? Consecutive statements must be, ooh, all right, so let's quickly replace this with that. Is that what you want? Function, introduce function caller. Maybe I'm, okay, so let's maybe read about the structs. Just init, maybe, I don't fucking know. Language reference. So there was a Swift tour. Because I suppose it's a structure, right? So caller is a structure. So let's find the structures and classes. Oh my god, it's so laggy. Structures. Okay. How do I initialize? So it's probably something like maybe caller. Can I just say something like this? Ah. Okay, so thank you for the explanation. Thank you for the explanation. Okay. All right. So that also means I can directly inline it. All right, let's go. So, and can I also, okay, so let me try to run it right away. There we go. So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yo, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yo. So can I do my favorite background color and scheiße? My favorite background color and scheiße. So I'm gonna be FF. Does it support hex? Yeah. So it feels like a very like good C language, right? So it's very. The flow of programming this language is kind of like very pleasant. So the language itself is kind of cool. The documentation is abysmal, right? Documentation is absolutely fucking abysmal. Maybe it is intentional, right? So people quite like to gatekeep things, right? So maybe it is intentional. So okay, and draw rectangle V. I wonder if we can just do something like vector 2 0 0, vector 2 100 100, and then just say, okay, the color is gonna be red. And I wonder if we can just like use red because it's one of the macros. Let's actually see. Can I just do something like that? Okay. Ooh, it wants to have fancy shit. Oh, look at that. Look at that, mother flipper. Look at that. It just understands C. It just fucking understands C. Okay, so it doesn't. Oh, all right. So macro unavailable structure not supported. Macro red unavailable structure not supported. Literal, by the way. Yeah. Interesting. So it can't just do that. It can't just do that. That's bizarre. Interesting. So it couldn't understand that part. Though we can quite easily just copy paste this entire thing. Alright, so we can just copy paste this entire thing like so. And just, yeah, so this is going to be R, G, B, A. Alright, let's go. Okay. So we can maybe define this entire thing as red, raylib red, something like that. And does it have const? No, it's probably let. Raylib red. Let's go. Okay. And without that build system slope, by the way, look how fucking quickly it recompiles. Like, why people masturbate on that build system slope? I don't fucking understand. It's supposed to make everything easier. It doesn't fucking make anything easier, it just makes everything slow. I don't fucking understand. It's so fucking build slope. Anyways. So here we can have a position. Maybe we can extract all of that into the position. So This is a position. It kind of makes me want to use like a capitalized names and stuff. Right, so makes me want to use that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And maybe we can update this kind of stuff over time. So something like x plus, I don't know, 100 multiplied by get frame time. I think that's what it's called. Maybe we can even call it dt, let dt, and then just like y or something like that. Is it going to work? Yeah, it seems to be working. Very natural language, feels very natural. Really like that. Really like that, really like that. Don't like tooling, don't like documentation. The language is nice. It feels very, very natural, like it flows very, very nicely. Rolls out of your fingers very nicely. Especially when you modify and mutate the code over time. Right, semicolon is optional, of course. Sure, here, there we go. I removed your stupid semicolons. Sure. It's fine. All right, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I think I need to give it a verdict, right? So I need to give this language verdict. So it is worse than C3 or Hair or anything like that. So that means it's going to be less than 8 out of 10. That's for sure. It's less than 8 out of 10. So I suppose I give it 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, right? So the documentation is absolutely fucking abysmal, right? So you can feel the job security. You can smell the job security from the Apple employees. That's for sure. They really don't want you to know any of that stuff because that threatens their job. And I do understand them. So if I worked at Apple, I would also try to protect my job like that. So that's understandable. So the tooling itself, right, it positions itself as a system language, but it's kind of disrespectful to the system development. The fact that it just like adds a lot of slop to the final executables and makes it kind of difficult to get rid of that slop, it's kind of disrespectful towards system development. And the fact that it fell apart when we tried to do a static executable only confirms that, right? It kind of positions itself as a system language, but it kind of disrespects the system development by itself, right? So it's kind of like pretended to be a system language, but rather it's a, you know, like a common commodity slop language like C# or Java or something like that. So on that part, I would not compare it with C++ and Rust, right? So C++ and Rust, they're proper system languages that give you a lot of control and actually respect system development. So that's for sure. The language itself, from the language design point of view, it is very nice. It is extremely nice. So it's very ergonomic. It's much more ergonomic than Rust, that's for sure. Much more ergonomic than Rust. Like it feels natural. As a language, if we look only at the text, it is very nice. The feature of just like straight up using C source code is very powerful because it is the feature that made C++ popular. It is the main selling point of Zig. Right, it is a very like important sort of like a marketing tactic that is very underappreciated, and it's absolutely fucking killed by abysmal documentation of Swift. Right, this is a cool feature, but documentation fucking kills it. It needs to be more obvious. It needs to be fucking more obvious, like seriously. So that's basically everything I can say about this language after trying it for 2 hours. That is basically what I can say. Maybe if I program in it more, maybe I can discover more interesting thing to say about it. But honestly, after the abysmal documentation, I don't feel like I want to use it more. In case of like, for example, C3, I programmed in that language, and even though it is an unfinished language, it's a very simple language, it kind of leaves the feeling of you to try it more and try it more. Like you want to kind of explore it and stuff like that. But after being greeted with this corporate slop, it leaves a very bad taste, honestly. Right, even though it's probably a very powerful and a very cool language, I can see the potential. All of this corporate stink makes me not want to even touch this language anymore. You know what I'm talking about? know what I'm talking about? It's kind of cool, but all of that is you can feel the cold breath of the corporation. You can actually feel that, right? And it's just like, don't want to deal with that. Ew, brother. Ew, what's that? What's that, brother? So that's the kind of feeling that I have after Swift. So yeah, that's my take on Swift, right? So take it for what it's worth. Thank you so much, whoever crafted the example. Seriously, you are doing God's job, and honestly, Apple does not deserve people like you. Seriously, you just like saved the entire image of Swift. Just by composing this simple example, you fucking saved them. I was about to finish the stream and say, fuck this language, but you saved them. Apple does not deserve people like you. Whoever came up with that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, I guess this is for today. Thanks everyone who's watching me right now. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, and I see you all on the next recreation programming session with Mr. Zuzin. So thank you everyone for all of the subs. I'm really sorry I was busy fighting with sloppy language, right? So I didn't actually acknowledge all of the subs. So let me see. So maybe I have to actually refresh it, because I feel like it was not updating properly. So let's actually acknowledge all the subs. So I'm gonna go in from the top. Thank you so much, Mr. Tarles, for Twitch Prime. Puir Q, thank you so much for Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Ted Reed. Thank you. FGLG, who took my name. Thank you so much for the message. Howdy. Always a pleasure to see your mind work. It's an inspiration to get mine going. Thank you. I'm really glad to hear that. It's Sedna. Thank you so much for tier 1. And Maureen, thank you so much for tier 1. Alhendi, thank you so much for Twitch Prime with the message Tsodin. Cool. So Valini, thank you so much for tier 1. Tsodin Pose. Doroka87, thank you so much. What's up, Mr. Tsodin? What's up? Deagle50, Dendrobaga, thank you. I think, yeah, I don't know who I acknowledged already or who I did not, so I'm really sorry if I missed anybody. And Cal99, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, that's it for today. See you all on next recreation program session with Mr. Azuzin. Love you.